Hello and welcome back to Lonely-ish Podcast, a podcast about loneliness. My name's Ish and sometimes I am lonely. This episode I thought I would look at something called Chatty Café scheme, which I've recently come across. In essence, it's a place you can go to and chat to someone. So for instance, if there's a participating cafe, library, pub or hospital, and you can go and sit at a chatter and natter table and talk to someone for 5 minutes if you want, or a few hours. The Chatty Café scheme's aim is to encourage more human interaction and connection and improve the lives of those affected by social isolation and loneliness. It was established by a social worker called Alex Hoskin after feeling lonely while sitting in a cafe. And her aim is to bring people from all walks of life together, thereby encouraging social interaction and combating loneliness. She relates a story on the website when she noticed a few people sitting next to her alone at different tables and wondered if they might all be better talking to each other. It's worth noting that they don't use the word loneliness in any of their publicity materials in cafes. The reason being is to keep it positive and to keep it inclusive and for everyone, so not just for people who are feeling lonely. With over 1,000 participating venues and sponsorship with Costa, they've won several awards for improving social isolation. They also have a telephone befriending service and rely on a network of volunteers for the Chatty Café scheme. They also show how they have made a difference in people's lives with focus group results published on their website in June 2025. So I decided to pop along to a few cafes that said they had a table and see what it was all about. Firstly, I met Jackie, so I sat down with her to find out a little bit more about what she did there. I'm here today with Jackie from the Signpost Wellbeing Charity, and you're a trustee of the charity.
Yes,
do you want to tell me a little bit about the charity and what you do?
The charity was formed by several of us who have got our own disabilities and issues, and we've found a lot of difficulty in the past trying to find help, trying to find support, and just trying to find people we could talk to. And we could be lonely. Sometimes sitting in our room thinking, there's nobody understands me. So we talked about it and we thought there's a gap where we can fill it in because we've got a heck of a lot of experience. So let's go for it.
Okay, so we're here today at the Daventry Leisure Centre where we're sitting at the chatter and natter table. I can never quite say that properly.
Chatty Café.
Chatty Café, chatter table, whatever you want to call it, chatty table.
Yeah.
So there's quite a few people here who've come to talk. So how did you get involved with the chatty table idea?
Yeah. Well, we initially started doing coffee mornings and we thought that was a good way to bring ourselves out and about to people. We've only been going officially since the August the 4th, so we have done, I feel that we've done very well. Shows what's needed because we've done so well. We put on coffee mornings and we did this one here. I do one in an independent living complex for older people so that once a month they can get out of their rooms and talk. We are in the process of doing them in more independent living places, and we're hoping to do places like there's a games place in Daventry, and we want to do that and we want to spread. And one of the things we found was sometimes we don't just want to talk about our issues. We just want a cup of tea and say, oh, it's raining today.
Yeah.
And have a general conversation and feel a little bit more normal.
So it's about finding connection.
That's it. Yeah. Our strapline is empowering people and connecting communities. That's where you get the most strength.
And have you experienced loneliness yourself? Can you tell me a little bit about it?
Yeah, I've experienced quite a lot of loneliness. I'm 61 now, but when I was a child, I was bullied. I had a lot of illness, so I didn't go to school regularly. The other children were playing and forming their friendships. I was the one standing on the outside. As a teenager, I had issues where I just thought there is nobody to help me here. Between 30 and 50, I suffered depression a lot, and I had low self-esteem, low self-confidence. So I isolated myself a lot. And even if we went out with our group of friends, I still felt lonely in that group because I felt different. I felt that I couldn't connect strongly with them. So I would chat and be nice and everything, but I was lonely.
Yeah. So you missed a sense of finding your people, maybe?
That's it. I call it finding my tribe.
Tribe. Yeah, I've used that word before.
Yeah,
Tribe.
yeah. I was trying to find my tribe, but this has just what I found with Signpost is, wow, my tribe is huge because there's so many different people, and I can be so many different things to so many people, and that's a completeness in myself where I'm not hiding anything, and I can just then I can come in, have a cup of coffee and say, yeah, it's a rubbish day today, or can I talk to someone? And I have the choice whether I want to talk or not, and that gives me the feeling of connection.
Yeah.
And that I belong.
Okay, the sense of belonging that you needed.
Yeah. One of my experiences has been that I appeared a very confident, outgoing person, and I would join in with the games and board games if anybody was playing and that. But I was lonely because I couldn't feel a connection. I felt isolated, like there was a glass wall between me and the other people, and I was lonely, and I didn't have my confidence. I didn't have self-esteem. Why would anybody want to speak to me anyway? I don't blame them not speaking to me. And I would sit in a corner quiet, and I would be lonely, and I would want people to hear me, but I couldn't speak to let them hear me.
And did you ever think about asking for help or knowing where to go for help?
The only help I knew where to go to was every so often I would go to my doctor. I'd say I'm feeling depressed, and I'd be given antidepressants. I had some counselling in the past, but nowadays, like in the last 8 years, I couldn't get counselling. There was something like a 6-month waiting list, and they don't do counselling on the NHS anymore. Although the payment is fitted to what you earn, you still have to pay. And if you're at rock bottom, that's you are much rather going to eat than to talk to somebody like that. So I found getting help was hard. I just soldiered on. I did a lot of reading, which was my basis. And I thought, right, this and this needs to be done. But it's hard. It's hard nowadays with the waiting lists and with the shortage of help for individuals. Although I think the service is amazing, but there's so many people who need it. I think that's maybe where one of the areas is. So I felt lonely in the crowd.
Okay. And why do you think people are lonely today?
I think there's several reasons, and although the internet is an amazing thing, but it can be easier to just use your phone to come. One of the things that's recently I've seen arising, which is causing some concern in some areas, is the use of chatbots. And they've even now got it. There are problems with having enough counsellors for people who may have some issues, but you can go on a chatbot and talk to it like it's a person and tell them what you're feeling. It will produce a generated AI response. That might not actually be applicable for you, but you'll take it on board because you've got no one else to talk to. So I think chatbots, and there's statistics that a lot of people under 25 will now stay in and call a chatbot their friend, which I think is difficult because you're not getting out into life and experience and stuff there. And a generated response can never be the same as a friend putting their arm around you and giving you a hug. That's one problem. I think life is difficult nowadays as well, and it's scary. All the world turmoil, problems with the systems in England, and I think people want to hide away from it. And it's easier, again, to lose yourself in a computer game than to listen to the news. And so you hide. So I think there's that. And I think there's been a generational change as well, where we, as older people, we had to get on with it. And yeah, much older than people would go to war at 16, 17. In our generation, you had jobs you went straight out into, it could be in a factory or something. Nowadays, there isn't that same, I feel there's maybe not quite as much resilience and fortitude to go out there and, I'm going to be brave today and I'm going to do it. I don't think there's that kind of impetus to do it because you can sit at home and it's easier like that. So I think that's why there's been more loneliness nowadays. I think also people are more scared as well of being out. You have instant news where that bird has happened, that's, whatever. We never heard about that, so we weren't as aware of the dangers pre-internet times. We weren't as quickly aware of the dangers. It could take a day or two for us to find out that there'd been a mass stabbing in America or something. The world now feels scary because 24/7 you're hearing of something dangerous happening. But it's not more, it's just quicker to get to you.
Yeah, so due to that instant nature of things, bombarding people, you feel it's made people think differently, take less risks, is that right?
Yeah, and it sometimes as well, you feel you've got to know somebody before you trust them. That's today. I'm wondering if you've got to know somebody. You feel like you've got to know somebody before you can trust them. Whereas when we had our own self-resilience, we would just go out and, well, that wasn't much good, was it? And walk away from the person later. But now, I don't know because I'm not 20 anymore, so I'm just doing comparisons. But some of my friends' kids have said they don't feel so safe because stranger danger, gone to the nth degree.
Okay. Someone was listening and they felt lonely, and it's not necessarily advice, but what guidance would you give to them?
One of the things we try to do in general with Signpost Wellbeing is encourage people to come and to make it a happy space, and a confident and a welcoming space. This is why we do the Chatty Cafés. You can just come on, have a cup of coffee, eavesdrop on what we're saying. And if you want to join in, great. But if you don't want to, you're still welcome to come and sit in silence with us and just being a part of it, we hope will make you feel better.
It was great to meet Jackie, as she seemed such a force of nature with all that she'd gone through and still wanted to help others. There were a few others there that I met, like Rita, who had years of experience of looking after others with mental health conditions who wanted to help people with those similar issues. They also had Fiona, a job centre advisor, who attends to help people and advise them about any entitlements they may be eligible for. It felt like this Chatty Café scheme was not just a meeting place, but also an information and knowledge exchange for others. Jackie's personal account of loneliness felt to her like being this outwardly social person who just couldn't connect to others. It was like a glass wall between her and other people, leaving her adrift. Jackie made some interesting remarks about different generations and loneliness, and the rise of technology and its impact, not just our phones, but also how AI can impact us. Research done by the Youth Endowment Fund in 2025 reported that 1 in 4 children aged 13 to 17 in England and Wales used chatbots daily for emotional support, seeing it as a friend. Why is this? Clearly, it is an immediate source of help rather than having to wait to speak to mental health professionals, and allows you to remain anonymous. But how accurate or safe are these online technologies, and do they really provide an alternative to a real human being? Is this something you've done? What's been your experience, and has it helped you? I would be interested to hear your experiences with AI chatbots, as it's not something I would think of doing. Please let me know in the comments or send me an email. Jackie's view surrounding the 24/7 news cycle making people more fearful or less safe in the world was also something to consider. There's sometimes a skew in public perception with events that are reported, giving us the impression they are commonplace, when statistically these things may be a lot rarer, but because we see them all the time on the news, we may consider it a more common event. What do you think? According to the American Psychological Association, the news can have an impact on mental health. Their research found that people can develop news-related stress or media saturation overload. Other terms coined in recent years are doom scrolling and headline anxiety. Thinking back to the COVID pandemic news coverage, whilst we all wanted or perhaps needed to understand what was going on, it may have affected our mental health in a similar way. Limiting exposure to news and disabling notifications are recommended strategies for reducing anxiety related to current events. News reporting that is perceived as biased or sensationalised does little to help and can exacerbate anxiety levels. I don't watch the news anymore, as it can be quite gloomy. World events are not something I have much control over, and I don't miss out and can catch up with events in other ways. What do you think? What's your view on watching the news? Jackie's comments on people perhaps needing to know someone before you could trust them also made me curious. Research by Oxford University in 2023 suggests that a quarter of adults in the UK mistrusted people, but in the same year, King's College reported research that confirmed that the UK was one of the most trusting nations globally. Very interesting. The UK population was ranked third in the world for trusting strangers they meet for the first time. So despite COVID and Brexit, this is positive news to hear. But why do we trust strangers? It's mainly down to our previous experience with strangers, studies show. If most people have a favourable previous experience with strangers, they will feel more comfortable to interact with strangers, like a learned response. What do you think? Do you trust strangers? We're always told not to trust strangers, but it feels like we actually do trust them, and we have faith in the kindness of strangers. How many times do you ask a random person for directions? And how many times do you see strangers help others out? Perhaps in this context of loneliness, we need to give people a chance and not judge a book by its cover, as you never know how you may connect with someone. If you don't, that connection is missed. Nevertheless, Jackie's core goal was to empower people instead of acting on their behalf, which was a positive approach and based on her lived experience of feeling isolated. The charity's name is Signpost after all, encouraging individuals to regain their own individual power. Next, I went to Bradlaugh Fields and Barn Cafe. It's set in what used to be a golf course in Northampton. Now it's fields for dog walkers, but it seems it's become something altogether different. I spoke to volunteers at the cafe, Sharon and Wendy.
So, first question is, what makes you come to the Chatty Café scheme?
Be with friends and enjoy the company.
Okay, and what about yourself, Wendy?
Well, I started coming here after I lost my husband, had a bit of a breakdown, etc. Then one of the ladies here invited me to come in here. Never looked back. I've never looked back. We were just saying between us, like we both work here as volunteers. We can come in with aches and pains, and if we feel better for it. And we have so many customers, particularly the elderly customers, who say they do not know what they would do without Bradlaugh Barn.
Okay.
Because they're seeing other people where they go home and see nobody.
Yeah.
So that is a major. I mean, that makes us feel really good because they're so happy that we're here, and they say, please don't ever close it. Please don't ever close it, because they get so much from it.
Yeah, so people come to not be so lonely, otherwise
absolutely.
they'd sit at
I mean, a
home.
lot of people that come here have lost their partners, haven't they? Shirley in particular.
Yeah.
She lost her husband just recently. Since she's been coming here, she's coming out of herself and she's a different person, isn't she?
And it's funny how it starts, because I know sort of Shirley because she's a neighbour of mine, and I saw her over the other side of the field, the other side of the cafe there, and I knew what had happened. She'd lost her husband. I could just tell by the look on her face, and she'd run over and hugged me, and I said, please come over here. And she said, I'll try. She's never looked back.
No.
She comes every day, and then she goes home feeling better.
And she always says to me, Sharon, don't know what I'd do about you being here. Flipping thing. Because she likes to sit and talk. She doesn't like to be on her own. She likes to sit and have someone to talk to. So I always stay with her until she's ready to go home.
Right.
I never push her if she wants to go yet. I'll always wait for her.
And it's done her confidence so good now.
Yeah.
She's thinking about being a volunteer, which is amazing, which is what happened to me. Coming as a real quiet customer and, you know, feeling dreadful. And then I volunteered, and I never looked back. Never looked back. And that's how we feel. We'd be quite devastated, I think, personally.
Oh, God, yeah.
Personally, both of us. And also a lot of people that come in. A lot of people that come in.
So you're volunteers, but through the volunteering at the cafe, you've also made lots of friends and also made a difference in people's lives as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, yeah.
I've been a volunteer now, it'll be 2 years April.
Okay.
I've been a flipping thing.
8 years.
for 2 years, and you're 8 years, aren't you?
Yeah.
So can you, I'm asking this question because everyone's experience of loneliness is actually unique to themselves. So can you tell me about a experience of loneliness that you've perhaps had that you can talk about?
I think I had loneliness at the beginning, but I don't feel lonely nowhere as much, because I mean, I can come in here 7 days a week. I don't, because I don't always have time, but Sharon does. But you just go home. You just go home feeling better. The house doesn't seem so lonely. It's not empty. You know, I can get it and feel absolutely lousy because we've got issues with health.
Yeah.
And I think, God, everything hurts, you know. And then I'd come and have a cup of coffee, and you actually go back, not so lonely, feeling better. The house doesn't seem so empty. So
Okay, so for you, if I just summarise that, your experience of loneliness is an empty house.
Yeah.
Feeling not connected, is that the right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've got a partner, but you go home and there's no conversation. The conversation, phew.
Yeah.
So I come down here, I've made so many friends over here since I've been coming, and my confidence is just going up and up and up. Whereas before, I mean, I was quite quiet when I first started coming down here. And I asked, can I become a volunteer? And you went, yes, straight away, more or less, didn't you? And it done me a world of good.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a widow now, but you mentioned about loneliness in a marriage, and I was very lonely in a marriage. And I didn't have this then, and I wished I had, because, you know, I'd have somewhere to come and feel happy and, you know, before you go back to the horribleness at home.
You're starting to get emotional.
Yeah.
I can hear it in your voice.
Yeah. I had a bad marriage, unfortunately.
Yeah, same.
So this would have done me a world of good.
Yeah.
But we weren't here then, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
With the Chatty scheme, the tables, do you see, as volunteers, do you see quite a lot of people come who are new, maybe, and then stay?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
Gosh, definitely.
Yeah.
They say to us, oh, this is a fantastic place. We never knew it was here. And now there's a gentleman there, I won't name him, but he loves it here. He's very quiet, isn't he?
Yeah,
but,
but it's lovely.
Yeah, I don't know quite. I think he lives on his own, bless him. But you just see the change in people.
Yeah.
You know, we've lost one of our ladies recently, unfortunately. But she loved it here. She came out of the loneliness at home here and go back to our house. Yeah. So it's working.
Yeah.
And we don't want it to change.
No, definitely not.
If someone was lonely at the minute and listening, what would you say to them? Not necessarily give them advice, but what would you say to them?
Just try and overcome coming out. I mean, a lot of people don't want to leave their home. They're lonely, but they still don't want to leave their home. And I think just take that first step. You know, they don't have to talk. They come to somewhere like this. You don't have to talk to start with.
Yeah.
But then you feel people sort of get drawn into it, and they make loads of friends. So, you know, just take the first step, go out the front door and find somewhere like this.
Like here. I don't think it's anywhere like this, is there? Not local.
Well, to us it's quite unique, I think, isn't it?
Oh, God, yeah.
They do...
What makes it unique?
It's just special.
It's a beautiful place, for one thing. Here, it's a beautiful place. We got very lucky to have this building. We really are. And it's just the atmosphere. It's just... I don't know why. Just the atmosphere.
It is surrounded by fields.
It is.
Well, we can have a laugh and a joke. We can have, have a happy time, don't we?
Some people just sit and listen at the table. They're not necessarily joining in.
Yeah.
But you can see them joining in just by their expression.
You can more or less guarantee by the end of the hour or so, some of them will just join in and start coming over on a regular basis.
Yeah. Yeah, they'll sit back.
On a Friday, we have about 15 people come on a Friday afternoon.
Okay.
And they just talk about everything.
Well, that just started with a couple of us. I mean, I work on the Friday. Well, you work on a Friday sometimes, don't you? But we just, a few people, and it's just built on that Friday afternoon. And then now it's like a little community up the corner, there's about, like Sharon said, 15, 20 people. Yeah. Not all women as well. We've got a few, men coming now, which is lovely, because that's a different take altogether. You've got men sitting there talking about stuff. But, And
you're open every day of the week?
Yep.
Yeah. And is it 10 till 2 p.m? Have I got that right?
Generally,
Generally, no, during the week.
Yeah, we go over a little bit on a Friday because with the ladies are still chatting until about 3, and we don't like to chuck them out because we're having a lovely time.
And then we have the church group, don't we, once a month, and that is brilliant. I love doing the church group. Again, meeting new people, we have a laugh, and
And this is the live cafe for so many days a week, and as you can probably see, we've got some of them, we've got Downs, special needs, etc. And that's a wonderful atmosphere.
Oh, God, yeah.
Because everybody loves them. They've all got their little jobs, some are collecting cups, some are doing this, and people just love them. They love coming here because of them as well, don't they?
Yeah, and I look forward to coming over to see these guys. You know what I mean? They always got a very smile on the face. I mean, after the Christmas period, I walked in, Ian came over and gave me a hug, Dawn gave me a hug, Anita gave me a hug. And that made my day fantastic.
Yeah.
It was lovely.
This is it. They are here from Monday to Thursday.
And I've got another chap that comes in with his daughter. The time I started coming to sort of lives, he'd not long lost his mum. I don't know if I told you this. His mum had not long passed away. And I said to his daughter, I've always wanted a granddaughter. You can adopt me if you want, Sharon. And ever since then, she's comes out and gives me a hug.
You can have mine too if you like.
No, you're all right. And she'll say to me, can I have a Freddo? Is it? Yeah, of course you can.
Yeah.
And I treat her like one of my own.
Yeah.
No, I mean, to have
we
that.
have, you're probably talking about the same person that I'm going to say, but you might have somebody like a dad who is a single dad at the weekend, and they come in here, and we've got a little corner for the children to colour and do bits and pieces. So he's probably lonely because he's not with his wife anymore. He has his daughter. So he's probably lonely, but he will come here. Yeah. And I should imagine it's just the same thing for him. He's seen people, his daughter has, had time to play and,
So it's open to all ages?
Oh, God,
yeah, absolutely. Anybody.
Okay.
I mean, tomorrow you have a lot more of the disability people coming, like in wheelchairs and what have you. But everyone's treated equal here.
Yeah.
You're not treated different because you've got a problem. Aren't they?
And they're amazing. He works so hard with them. And it's a lovely group, isn't it? It's lovely, yeah. Okay.
It's clear that volunteering has greatly enhanced both Sharon and Wendy's lives, and they're able to make a difference in others' lives whilst also addressing their individual loneliness. Both described how going to the cafe allowed them to leave the house and meet new people. For Wendy, her loneliness was symbolised by an empty home, and visiting the cafe provided her with an escape, just as it did for Sharon, whose marriage left her feeling isolated. They valued the diversity of the community there. Elderly users, people with disabilities, and single fathers all visited the cafe. It's notable that they discovered their community exactly when they needed it most. The importance of this support became clear as they mused the possibilities of it ever closing. They also mention others who have experienced sudden loneliness or isolation, taking a brave first step and haven't regretted it. It appears for both Sharon and Wendy they have truly found a sense of belonging. As in Daventry, the Bradlaugh Fields and Barn has become a real community hub and social centre for all kinds of users, illustrating how powerful these types of schemes can be. As mentioned, if you're local to Northampton, it's open 10 to 2 every day. Go visit and see what it's all about. If you're nearer Daventry, Signpost Wellbeing Group is open Thursdays, 10 to 12 p.m. Contact details will be in the show notes. So, are you interested in the Chatty Café scheme? Is there a Chatty Café scheme near you? There are many dotted around the country. Finding some new friends may just be a coffee away. As the scheme is run mainly by volunteers, it's worth double checking opening times before you make a visit. Or, alternatively, are you an owner of a cafe and could set up a chatter table? If you want to join as a venue, it's £30 a year and you get promotional materials sent to you and recruit volunteers to help host the table. And it also may help your venue become the heart of a community. On that note, it's been great to chat, but time for me to go. If you enjoyed this podcast, please follow and like and all that jazz. If you know someone who might benefit from this podcast, please share it. Let's keep connected. Bye.